we're ready to start another subject today. We're going to be doing, sometimes they call this social studies, but we're just going to call it My Story, because this is the story of you and your country and where you live and your world. Okay? So before we start, I just want you to sit there for a second and I want you to listen to something. This is going to explain to you a little bit about this book and this stuff. Now, you don't have the book yet, but you're going to have pages to do, okay? Welcome to 4 new quests that will take you around God's world. Your first adventure will be starting very soon. This book adventure is going to help you learn about something called social studies. Social studies is about people and places around the world, including your own neighbors and your own family. We're talking about what people eat, where the food comes from, how governments are set up, the symbols on flags of different countries and what they mean, how God teaches us to love the people of the world like He does, and so much more. But before we get started with the first quest, let's talk really quickly about maps. I got one behind me. What is a map? Maps are pictures that mirror the real world in small ways. They're drawings of what the world looks like from way up high if you're looking down, so you can find the different places that you want to go. You might make a map of your house. Sometimes that's called a blueprint. Every room is like a square or a rectangle with doorways showing how to go from room to room. Then maybe you could make a map of your neighborhood, then your city, then your state, then your country, and finally the world, showing mountains and rivers, lakes, and more. A map of the world is like the map of your house, with each country like a room, only showing much, much more. Earth is fairly round, like a ball, but maps of the earth are usually flat, unless you have a globe. Long ago, when you needed to find a city or a building in that city, you'd have to use a compass to guide you. The compass was first invented around AD 1100 in China. It's designed to point north so one can figure all directions, south, east, and west. And astrolabe is an amazing device first invented by the ancient Greek people. It showed how the sun, moon, planets, and stars moved across the sky, helping you find out where you were. Now, today, we have digital maps in our cars or on our phones that can tell us where we are and where we need to go. Are you ready for the first quest? By now, you might know that a quest is a journey, an adventure where you can discover and uncover things. You might learn some things about yourself, some words from other languages that people speak around the world, about ways that God teaches us to be wise by looking at His created world all around us. Throughout this whole book, you'll be writing your very own story. You'll write it or have your teacher write it with you every Friday. Also on Fridays, you'll gather the yellow highlighted words for your word collector. You can write these words on any pieces of paper, like those little 3x5 cards. I think your mom was going to try to get you some of those. And that can make a really easy way to write them out, put them in a box or in a bag, and keep those. And then you'll write those words on the cards so you know how to spell them when it comes time for review. Now, the first thing is, every time we start a new quest, like today, we're starting a brand new quest, you're going to have a quest collector card, and it's going to be a page like this. Okay, you're going to have to tear that out of your book, or your mom is going to print it out for you, and that's probably what you're going to have there. And on the back of that, you're going to have a map of the whole world. So now we're going to get ready, and we're going to start our quest. Now, before we do, we're going to have to look at our worksheet, and we're going to, at our quest worksheet, and it has a bunch of questions on there. We have to read those questions first so that while we're on our quest, we're going to know what kind of information to look for. Okay? So let's go ahead and get our pages out. All right, this is what we call our quest collector card. You will have to keep up with this, okay? So whenever you get your book, you'll have to kind of tear it out of your book and keep up with it. But before you do anything, you have to look at all these questions on here, because in our quest, which is a journey or an exploration, we're going to have to find all the answers to these. And every time we come across an answer, we'll have to come and put it back on this, okay? So these are the questions. Which is the biggest country in the world? If you were eating copra, what would that be? What is the world's largest cave? What is the name of the highest mountain on earth? In which country will you see Mount Ararat? Which country has the southernmost capital in the world? Which country has more people than any other country? Where do you find the world's most venomous snake? Where is the world's largest seafood market? In which country is the Hazardua Palace that has 1,000 doors? Wow, those are the questions that we're going to be finding on our quest. So if you'll look at, you have a map. You see this map that you have? Let me see if I can fix it a little bit. There we go. All right, you see your map here? All right, so we live over here in the United States. Right here, about right there. Right down here is Texas. We live about right there. This is South America. This is Africa. This is Asia. This is Europe. Australia. North America. Okay? Excellent. Now, we're going to have another page to do today, to look at, actually. It's going to be this page right here. All right, so let's look at this page. This says they're going on a canoe trip. Now, do you see all these highlighted words here? You're going to have to pay attention to those, okay? All right, so I want you to read along. I'm going to read it out loud, but you have to follow along, okay? Time to get ready, because your year of adventure is beginning. Grab your Quest 1 map, that's the map we just had, so you can follow your journey each step of the way. In the first week, we'll be riding in a canoe. So watch for canoes each day and make sure you strap on your life jacket. And as they say in Brazil, before an adventure, boa viagem, which means good trip. Our canoe might be similar to the ones used by the Polynesians when they first found Hawaii. Hawaii is a group of islands that became the 50th state of the United States in 1959. Have you ever met a person who lived outside of your state or country? Almost immediately, you might see small differences in how they talk, act, and think. Do you want to know when a lot of these differences began? Well, let's look at something in the Bible that happened a very long time ago at the Tower of Babel. You can read the whole account in the book of Genesis 11, 1 through 9. Our ancestors were originally all from areas called the Middle East and Northern Africa, which you can see on your map. Remember, north on a map is up, south is down, east is right, and west is left. At that time, people were all united as one culture. One day, however, the people grew proud and decided to build a tower to heaven so they could be like God. This upset God, and he stopped them from building the tower by making them speak different languages. Did you know that? Have you ever heard that Bible account? Now, there's another page that you're going to have to turn to. This one right here. Can you find this page? I know there were several different pages today, but that's okay. Not every day will we have a lot. Here's a picture of what the Tower of Babel might have looked like. We don't really know what it looked like, but it was a special kind of tower called a ziggurat. The people could no longer talk to each other then, only to those who spoke their language. These folks could be thought of in some ways as the First Nations. The people groups who spoke the same language all went together to another place of the world to live in a village or city. It's partly because of this that our modern world is here and why we don't all think and act alike. Your own town and country are some of the many that have come together since the Tower of Babel. So understanding the beauty and uniqueness of people around the world is important to better appreciate God's whole world. Now, the earth has big pieces of land or areas that we call continents. There are 7 continents, which are North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Oceania or Australia, and then Antarctica is way down here. It's kind of hard to see. This right here, Antarctica. We'll be visiting all of these except Antarctica. On the 6 other continents are found all the countries of the world. Some countries are very big and some are very small. What makes a country is being under a single government or leadership. The smallest country is called Vatican City. Is that a clue? Is that an answer to one of our questions? Do you remember? The biggest country in the world is Russia, which covers 11 different time zones and takes 8 days to travel across by train. Russia is this country right up here. It's on the continent called Asia. All right, and then Vatican City is the smallest. So let's go back and look at our quest. Do you remember our quest? It says number 1 on our quest. Remember this right here? Which is the biggest country in the world? See what that said? Remember? Let's go back and look. The biggest country in the world is right here. The biggest country in the world is Russia. That right there is the answer. Can you write this? Make sure you use a capital R because it's the name of a place. Can you write this on number 1 on your quest collector card? That's the biggest country in the world. Can you write that down? All right. Good deal. All right, so now we're actually going to start our lesson for the day. Let me see if I can find it. I think that would be this page right here. Can you get this page out for me? All right, now it says, let's go on over to Hawaii to better understand people in the Pacific Islands. Come on. Hawaii is a group of over 100 volcanic islands in the Pacific Ocean. There have been people on these islands for over 1,000 years. In the early days of Hawaiian government, they had chiefs that ruled over the 4 main islands. At that time, they settled the land, but no one owned it. Let's see if we can look at our, this is a picture right here of Hawaii. You've got one, you should have one of these. Do you have this page? I'm not sure why it won't let me zoom. There we go. You see these? This is actually Hawaii. We're zoomed way in because these are actually way out in the middle of the ocean. This is Hanauma Bay in Hawaii. Look at all those people down there. Isn't that a pretty place? This is called a bay. Wow. Oahu, Hawaii. Isn't that beautiful? It looks big, doesn't it? But right here it looks small, right? It's kind of hard to tell, isn't it? Okay, here's our activity time. Now it says the English language alphabet has 26 letters. We learned that in our language this week. The Hawaiian language alphabet has only 12 letters. There are 5 vowels just like English, A, E, I, O, U, and there are 7 consonants. H, K, L, M, N, P, and W. That's all the letters that they have, just 12 letters. Here's some Hawaiian words. I wonder if we can learn how to pronounce these. I need to use Google Translate, but I'm not going to go get my phone. I guess this is Kiki is a child. Humana is a student. You're a Kiki and a Humana. And I'm a Kumu. I'm a teacher. Kumu. Aloha. Aloha. I know you've probably heard aloha. That means hello, goodbye, love, or peace. That's pretty neat on those words, isn't it? Now, let's look at this little section. It says called Talk Time. What do you think about saying words in another language like Kiki that mean the same as certain words in English, but they sound different? Like you could look at Bradley or Brantley or Athley and say, you are a Kiki. That means a child, right? That's exactly right. A child is called Kiki. So you learned today that those in Hawaii have in their alphabet, they only have 12 letters in their name. You also learned that Hawaii is a group of islands in the Pacific Ocean, right? And we talked about the Tower of Babel and how people started speaking different languages and such. That's pretty neat, isn't it? Okay, now what you're going to end up doing is every day at the end of our history lesson, our social studies, you're going to do this right here called Thankful Time. You are going to have a sheet of paper. You can get a piece of construction paper or just regular paper, whatever your mom wants you to use. And you have to write on it one thing you're thankful for. It can just be one word. You could be thankful for your hair. Maybe you're thankful for your eyes. Or maybe you're thankful for food. Or maybe you're thankful for school. Maybe you're thankful for your mom or dad. Just write one thing down. And then you keep that page inside your book or keep it with all your stuff. Because every day at the end of the lesson, that's what you'll write. Okay? All right, that's all of our lesson today.